Good Sunday to you. It is the Loudoun County Weather Outlook. It's going to be kind of a dreary day. Clouds are going to stick around this low, and the front's going to come through over the next 24 hours. It's going to give us some rain, which we desperately need. Nothing too widespread until this evening and overnight. And tomorrow, this is good. We need the rain. Not sure exactly how much we'll get squeezed out of here, but we could see an inch of rain if we're fortunate. It's going to bring in much cooler temperatures. Tomorrow's temperatures will be only around 50, and then Tuesday only in the mid 40s for a high, and Tuesday night is going to freeze good. Those are going to mid upper 20s, so if you have tender vegetation out there, fruit trees and things like that, it's definitely something that's going to be potentially challenged by the colder air. Cooler conditions will stick around for the rest of the week. But not be super cool. I mean, not really warm. We're going to get into the 50s and 60s, and then it's another chance of rain as we head into this weekend. This is kind of a complicated setup. I don't think models have figured this totally out yet, exactly how this is going to happen. There's energy driving down. There's going to be a coastal low that's going to form. How close does it form to the coast is a good question. There is actually a later model outlook here. I'll look at it here in a moment to see if it's got anything new with the way that this is going to pan out. Eventually, the low along the coast takes over. At this point, it looks too far off coast to give us rain, but it would definitely usher in cooler and kind of dreary conditions. Another chilly weekend, unfortunately. Finally, that starts to break down and lift out as we head into the following week, as we get some southerly winds trying to ease their way into here and edge out the cooler air so that we can finally warm up to slightly above normal. Maybe some more rain. We'll have to see. This is pretty far out, so at this point, can't really trust it. But, it does look pretty much like a repeating pattern of some moisture come through and kind of cool us down, and then maybe some big-time warm-up in the longer range. Not as dry as it once looked, which is good for us. We need as much rain as we can get. That almost looks like a repeat, and here comes another cold drop in the long range. This is the latest model, so this is after. The other one was this morning's model. I just want to show this is all the way out on Wednesday. Cool air is still sticking around, and it has a different evolution of the low this weekend, and it's going to be much wetter on this model. So that's why I bought it in here. The front doesn't clear as far south and east, so when the low starts to form, it comes up here and causes a nor'easter, which is nice for getting rain. Look at this, rain into the area. Good amount of rain, the snow in the mountains. Look at that. Not a surprise at all, actually, if this type of setup comes up together. That is a heavy snow for the mountains. I don't know if that's going to be true or not, but this is a different scenario, different setup. At least for us, it brings rain in here, which we desperately need. So that was a good shot of rain. So we'll have to see how this low ultimately pans out along the East Coast. Trying to look at the Euro really quick. So here we are on Thursday on the European model. Some moisture's coming in here, and we do have a chance of rain for sure. Then let's see how it evolves this low. Oh, this is looking good. Good amount of rain coming in here. All right, so next weekend we could get a lot of rain. We need the rain desperately, so this is all good news for rain lovers, only because we need it. I know it's going to be dreary several days, but we need the rain so bad it's worth it. All right, so this is the overnight Euro that is a little further out, and it also is supporting that rain for next weekend, but not quite as much as what we were seeing on the latest model run. So the trend is wetter for next weekend for sure. Before then, like I said, we'll finally kind of warm up the week after. All right, so that's what we got to look forward to. And over the next 7 days, the Weather Prediction Center has forecasted between 1 and 2 inches of rain. Excellent. So this is definitely needed. If that precipitation comes true next weekend, this may be increase some, so that'll be good news. I'll have to see if that comes to pass. And this will be through next weekend, showing the trend on temperatures. You see that we're in this colder air damming here, east of the mountains. That's why we're chillier today. Cold air will definitely stick around. But look how close the warm air really was. So we go into the future, you see the cold air kind of reinforcing itself and really getting going. That's Monday into Tuesday. As I mentioned, much chillier. This is very cold air coming into the region, and then it has a hard time getting rid of the cold air. It's kind of get stuck in the cooler pattern here on the East Coast. This is all the way into next weekend with cooler conditions, and that's with that low pressure system forming on the coast. So temperatures remain well below normal into the weekend, and then, like I said, in a longer range, although this doesn't go out that far, this warmer air in the middle part of the country should shove this on out And hopefully by the mid and later part of the month, we'll see some warmer conditions. But we need the rain, so it's all good news in that respect. All right, that's your Loudoun County Weather Outlook for Sunday. It is April the 6th, 2025. Have a good weekend, or the rest of the weekend. A good start to your week.